Okay, now I've got a tip that's really gonna help out. Now I used to paint houses for a long time. The thing is, sometimes you have to rematch that paint, which means they're like, hey, can you match that paint? And you're like, well, do you have any of the old paint left? And they go, yeah, there should be some in the garage. Well, then you go find it, and it looks similar to this right here where paint's running down the side. It's really old, and what it's got inside are what you call boogers. Because what happens is it gets old, big chunks of it are stuck around, and you have to literally, sift through that paint so that you can still match what's on the wall. Okay, now this is when things get a little crazy, because that's when you need a pair of these. I'm talking about pantyhose, people. These babies can actually come in really handy when you're trying to sift through that paint, because it's a porous skin-like material, which means you can actually wrap it over a bucket like this, and it turns into basically a filter. Don't use the crotch area, it's not quite as good. Okay, now you take your paint. Of course, you can pour it out of this thing, and it'll have little chunky things in it like this. See, these are boogers. They're old chunks of paint. What happens is, well, those chunks, well, they stay right in the pantyhose, but the paint actually sifts through there, and what you got left over is good paint you can actually use on the wall, and the great thing is, it matches the original color. Now that's what I call really getting to know your pantyhose.